Time is running out for state lawmakers to reach a deal on this year's budget, allowing more than 500,000 North Carolinians to get health insurance this fall. They need to come to an agreement on that budget by August 31st. That's just about a week and a day away. Yesterday on WRAL, during our 7 o'clock news, the state's Department of Health and Human Services Secretary Cody Kinsley said it would be extremely difficult to roll out Medicaid before December if they don't reach a deal by the end of this month. Joining us now live to give us an update on where things stand is Representative Donny Lambeth, one of the top budget writers and vice chair of the House Health Committee. Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
I'm glad I could. Thank you.
Representative, you have been a supporter, a proponent of Medicaid expansion. Why haven't lawmakers budged on calls to separate Medicaid expansion from the budget so that this piece can move forward for all those people who need it?
Well, that was part of the agreement reached way back in February, and I think the leadership would prefer to stick to that deal. There were other aspects of it, certificate of need reform, and a number of other things that were included. And, we're close. We're going to get the budget done here in a few weeks. And I'm not particularly that concerned that we'll miss out on the Medicaid program getting implemented fairly quickly.
But, there are so many people who would, I'm sure, like to get their procedures or their medication or whatever they could benefit from by having that health insurance by October instead of having to wait until December. Can you understand why people have a tough time making sense of why you and your colleagues are not decoupling Medicaid expansion from the budget, since that deal has already been made on expansion months ago?
I do, and I certainly sympathize with them. And as you may know, I worked on Medicaid expansion for 8 years. It took a long time to even get it to the point to include it and pass it. And a few more weeks, I don't think it's going to make that much difference. We're able to go back and what they call redetermination and pick up those once we actually sign the budget into law.
You mentioned, and I just want to bring this back to getting that budget passed. So you think that this will be able to happen in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, we're very close. We've been working, obviously. This is a long year. And if you look at the long year for the state, rarely do we meet the deadline of June 30th. I don't like that. I think a lot of people would prefer we get the budget done and get out of town. I would, but we are very close. We've been working hard for the last few weeks. And I think right now the schedule is that the week of September the 11th, we will finalize and vote out the budget so we can move on with not only Medicaid expansion, but the many tremendous aspects of what's in this budget for the people across North Carolina.
So the week of September 11th, that is what you're saying is when we can expect that budget deal to be reached, and then maybe December is when we can see that Medicaid expansion going through?
Well, the good thing about it, the feds have been working with us, and Secretary Kinsley's done a great job of kind of keeping them informed. I think we still have a chance at meeting the October 1, particularly if we can show that we're moving in that direction. It takes about 2 weeks once we reach the agreement for the budget to be printed, to go to the media, to go to our caucus. But I think by Labor Day, we'll know what's in the budget, and will just be ceremonial moving it forward for a final vote.
Representative Lambeth, thank you so much for joining us here on WRAL.
I'm so glad I could. Thank you so much.